Hello, Angela Meiritz-Reid here, Stampin Up demonstrator based in Christchurch, New Zealand. Today I'm sharing with you how I created this handmade card for the Global Design Project this week. We're casing a beautiful card from Susan Wong. So to start with, I've got a basic white card base, and then the next layer is more basic white that I have embossed with this time worn type 3D embossing folder. So just place that in the folder and bring in my embossing machine. And I'll just run that through. This is a great folder. I think it's a nice neutral sort of look, nothing too fancy, but just gives a little added extra to your card. So I'm just going to adhere that with some glue. Nice and evenly on there, and then pop that to one side to dry. And then next I've got these flowers, which are from the Colour and Contour stamp set, and there are dies for this that are called the Scalloped Contours dies. So I've got my foam mat because it is a photopolymer stamp set. So I'm going to make one in polished pink. Well, I've got two there, but I've gone ahead and done some already, so you don't have to see them all done again. Just grab some white cardstock. Mine seems to have vanished. I've just got one piece here, and what I've done is I've marked the stamp set just with some permanent marker, both on the outline and this infill one, so that I know how to line it up easily. So I'm just going to stamp that there, and I want this stamped off, so I'm just going to stamp it off onto here, and then line it up. And this one doesn't actually fill perfectly, it's just a bit more random. And then I've also marked this so that it just makes lining up that much easier. So I'll just bring in my little mini machine. And just pop that on. I just want to make sure that's in exactly the right spot, otherwise it will die cut a little unevenly. So there are 6 flowers altogether, 2 in the polished pink, 2 in Coastal Cabana, 1 in Mango Melody, and Pumpkin Pie. So I've got all those. I've gone ahead and prepared them ahead of time. So that saves you watching me do that. And then these are all adhered to with dimensionals. I've been using other bits of practice runs, just testing colours. I'll just pop some dimensionals on the back of those. And So I want to start with the Coastal Cabana ones firstly. I'm just going to pop those in the middle, and then I can work outwards from there. So about here. Doesn't really, it probably is the right way up, but it doesn't matter too much. You could have a wee trial run without taking the backs off. Turn that way, that's probably easier. And then tuck one. Actually, just roll that around so it's not in the way of the dimensionals that I've already put on there. And then one down here. And that's the cat. She's decided she wants to get out. And then one up here. And then lastly, tuck that one up over there. And then the leaves, so I've already gone ahead and, because there isn't a die for this, so I fussy cut 3 of those, but I just wanted to show you how I did that. So I'll just bring in scrap. The stamp is slightly bigger, and it's got that extra leaf, sort of abstract leaf off to the side. And then what I've done is this is just basic white cardstock, and it will take a little bit of water. I've just popped a bit of colour on there just to take the whiteness off, just so it is in keeping with the other images that I've used. Then I'm just going to fussy cut that. Fairly simple image, so it doesn't take too much cutting. If you knew the placement and before you embossed it, you could stamp the leaves onto this panel here if you wanted to avoid any fussy cutting. And those I'm just going to pop half a dimensional on the back of those. And then take the backs off those. And then I'm just going to tuck those in under the flowers. And pop 2 up here. Just don't want them hanging over the edge of the card because they won't fit in the envelope if there's too much overlap. Should be okay. And then I'm going to bring that back in, and there's a bit of splatter, so just using a Stampin' Up marker and just going to flick a bit of that over there. And then lastly, it's about popping on the sentiment and this twine here. So I'll do the sentiment now so that then that's all ready to go. So I've got some basic black cardstock, some buddy, and just pop my sentiment on a little straighter. And I've got my basic white embossing card in here. It's a lovely font on that sentiment too. So just heat emboss this, won't be a moment. And I just want to trim that, and I've trimmed it quite close, so I don't want to use up any of the, you know, cover up too much of the card. It's good with those lines because it means you can line things up, get a nice straight edge. Just trim a tiny little bit more off the bottom. And that's good to go. So to create that, it's quite, you know, a lot of single strands. I've got the baker's twine. I've just done that amount, which is a couple of times around my fingers, so that I can tell you what that is. But all the measurements will be in the written tutorial. So it's about 32 centimeters, which is about 13 inches. And then what I'm going to do with that is split it up. So to split it up, just pull it apart and pull those strands out. And you can take them, I think I put 2 in one lot and 3 in another. So just place them back together once you've separated them out. And then what I found was easier was to pop it on the card. So work out where you're going to put your sentiment and then add some dimensionals. So they'll need to be added sort of about here and here. So that needs to be double on that piece there because it's just sitting off to the side and that's already got a dimensional underneath it. So I'll just put 3 across. So that gives you plenty of area to attach these. So what I did is I just popped that bit dangling and then wound that around, and that is going to go out the side of that, but hopefully there's enough to keep it stuck down. And then just in and take it in at a slightly different angle. The same there, and then this one here, bring that in, because on Susan's one she did have some little extra bits sort of hanging out. So use as much or as little as you like. Just take that in there. If there's too much, just trim that off. And then to make sure that's going to sit well on there, just going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back. That. Take that up so it's nice and straight and pop that on there. And then on this one I used the matte black dots, but on this one I thought might look nice with some bright, these are the glassy dots assortment, and these ones here are Pool Party, but I thought they worked quite well with the Coastal Cabana. And it's slightly, as you can see, my flowers are in a slightly different position this time, so I'll be able to put my dots in slightly different places. So 1, 2, 3, and pop. I might pop one a bit further up here, and the smaller one, just pop that down in there. So amazing, just looking at it too, what a difference just changing up the embellishments does. And that would work too if you changed up, you know, it'd look pretty in any sort of colour with the flowers. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.